'80s, I think they aspired to having no eyebrows at all. Right? I think they thought the future was going to be made up of hairless people in like sterile white environments.
Oh yeah, well that was like when everything was going to be chrome in the future too.
Yeah, now we just have an internet browser, and that's as far as that went. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Spray painting your mouth. Future and the past.
Oh, welcome to Hairless Roundtable podcast, everybody.
Oh, my sponsorship finally went through?
Thank you very much for joining us. It's episode something or other. What is this?
11, maybe?
No, that's way too far behind. It's like
16 or something?
Yeah, that sounds right.
6 fucking teens?
16 or 17. We're somewhere in
my
there.
God.
Oh, yeah.
Definitive
Ryan
answer.
hasn't posted an episode in like 10 episodes. So he doesn't know where we are.
Yeah, we just record these all in bulk, actually, so we change our outfits every few hours. This has been
Except for me.
the
That
same
explains
recording
why
session.
the news is so old.
Yeah, we just try to make it up. We've been doing an okay job of predicting things.
Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out next week.
Woo!
2.8. Come on.
The true Metal Gear Solid 5 comes out last Tuesday. I saw it online.
Oh, this is
read it.
episode 17.
This is episode
looked it up.
17.
There
I
it is.
should know that. I should probably know that. Anyway, we're talking about Kingdom Hearts 2.8 today because that's fucking ridiculous. We're also going to be talking about the Rock Band 4-track list that was released. Super Mario Maker is out as well. It's going to be a lot of fun to discuss. And then Party Hard, which is in the exact same domain of video games as Super Mario Maker.
It's very
Pretty
similar.
much, yeah.
Yeah.
NHL 16 came out.
NHL 16, Madden 16, all sorts of fun and goodness happening on today's episode.
Daniel Sedin is only rated at an 85 despite having a bounce-back season last year and being in the top 10 in the league in points. I think it's bullshit. He should be at least an 86.
Talk Madden with me.
Gronkowski is the highest-rated player in the game. He deserves
Gronkowski's
it.
a 99. And
I mean, did you watch the fucking last game?
he's a
No.
he's a man among boys, and it's the best thing in the world.
I've
Well,
never
that-
seen him play football, but I did see him play Mortal Kombat 10 with Conan O'Brien and
Nice.
Marshawn Lynch, and he has a very muscular physique,
He does indeed. He is a
Almost
large person.
as if he was a professional athlete of some repute.
If you haven't seen Rob Gronkowski, do yourself a favor and Google search. I'll do it with you, actually.
He's a beautiful man. He is a beautiful.
R.O.B. Gronkowski.
The
Gronkowski.
Steelers. The
I just
Steelers,
spelled the
though,
Rob part.
they were kind of running a risky game plan last game of just not covering him.
Yeah, they tried something
mean-
interesting and just kind of letting him do whatever he wanted to do. He's
Like he's a good player, but whatever.
It's one of those things where I look at and I'm like, this guy is like a man.
it's kind
like-
of not fair.
He's
It
like
really
a
isn't.
warrior, and he's a year younger than I am. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
Dude,
This guy
there's,
was
like,
in 5th grade when I was in 6th grade?
There's
look at
many
this.
pictures of him with kittens crawling all over him. And
Oh,
I
yeah,
like
they did a
this.
photo shoot, and it's one of the greatest things in the world. Yeah, he's got a picture of him in a leather jacket staring down the camera with a kitten on his shoulder.
That's
He's also
fucking
holding a
adorable.
goat.
He's holding a goat?
Yeah, a little baby goat. He's
Where's
got
the
it in his
goat
arms.
picture?
Uh,
Oh, no.
I'm hoping.
Here, I'll link it to you.
I'm hoping his name brings me luck because I named one of my Blood Bowl players after him.
Oh, that's a good idea. He's 6'6", man.
That's not that tall.
He's a tall man.
6'6". That's like a wrestler. That's
Nick's
like
got
a WWE
Nick, you're almost
wrestler.
up there, right?
No, I'm 6 foot even.
Oh my God, he's a giant.
Just if you've never seen the man before, I'm just trying to paint a picture for you so you have an idea of what sort of human being we're talking about. He's 6'6". It's like if you've ever seen Game of Thrones. I've never seen Game of Thrones, but I know there's a character in Game of Thrones called the Mountain, right?
Yeah.
And he's just fucking huge. How big is that guy? Hold on. Let's make a comparison.
Rob Gronkowski, he's like
Probably like a foot taller.
he's a good-looking dude like Tim Tebow, but he can play football well.
Gregor Clegane?
Gregor Clegane is his name prior. Yeah, his nickname is the Mountain.
Okay. This is... I'm looking for the dude that plays
So
the
you just
Mountain.
Googled, like, the Mountain followed by his other alias in Game of Thrones.
No, I found his other alias in the Game of Thrones. This guy's the same age as Gronk.
Yeah.
That's
We're-
weird.
We're over the hill, man. We're probably past the median age.
Oh my god, that's crazy. Okay, well this guy's much bigger. Okay, he's 400 pounds. Holy fuck.
Yeah, well, he's fucking huge. Yeah.
That's a big man. He's only 2 inches taller than Gronk is.
That's still big though. 6'8".
Do we really call him Gronk?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it is.
It's
called
absolutely Gronk.
Have you seen him party? It's
I call him Dr. Owski.
Doctor. Don't. You can't go down that road right now.
Oh, that's a pre-show banter joke. No one gets that.
I think this guy wears 32 size jeans.
I bet he could.
Mm-hmm. I bet he could
6'2",
cram his giant
65?
dong in there.
Yeah, that'll be the real problem, I guess.
I might go buy Madden tonight.
Yeah, do it just to play as Rob Gronkowski. That's the whole reason we started talking about this. Is just play Madden to play as Rob Gronkowski.
I hope they have the do I want to cheat option as the Patriots though.
Daniel Sedin is only rated an 85 in spite of his bounce back season last year.
Well, I mean, I wish I weren't horribly depressed and bored by that conversation, but
Bear, you live in Washington State now. You should start watching the NHL.
that in no way puts me in a better position to watch the NHL.
Yeah, you're close to the Vancouver Canucks.
I mean, regionally, we're not even playing in the same division as anyone.
I mean, there is no
important.
NHL team in Seattle, so
Yeah. Oh wait, yeah, that's right.
maybe one day.
I don't think they want it.
They want it. They want it in Tequila.
I don't think that's a real place either.
Now
you
you're
just starting to really, really fish for information here.
Oh my lord! Let's start the podcast then.
Should we start it over from there? Oh man, let's talk about fucking Kingdom Hearts, bud.
Hold up.
2.8. II.8. That's the real. That's the format.
It's just
of
it's
this-
not
of
just
this game.
it's the other things that surround it.
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance HD, Kingdom Hearts X back cover, Kingdom Hearts Point 2 Birth by Sleep, a fragmentary passage.
Kingdom Hearts
it's
HD
a world.
2.8 final chapter prologue.
It's a clusterfuck of insanity.
That fucking name is so ridiculous.
Stupid.
Like I
Kingdom
said to Bear,
Hearts
it sounds
Point
like a
2.
Between the Buried and Me album.
It really does. Kingdom Hearts Point 2 Birth by Sleep, a fragmentary passage. So let me give you guys the full rundown of what's going on here. So there was
Kingdom Hearts bullshit.
There was a leak yesterday, even I think it was, of Kingdom Hearts 2.9, which seemed ludicrous, but was also founded on a lot of good information. That it was going to be 2.9, which was going to be, the final link in the chain between 2 and 3, and also Dream Drop
Memories.
Distance and Chain by Memories and 356 over 2 and fucking hardcore megapocalypse annihilation syndrome. That
the
was
other ones you
uh,
said were real.
Yeah.
Just to frame it so
Yeah,
nobody
the last
thinks
one
you're
was
just
the only one I
making
made up on the spot. The other
If
one,
you were
three.
to map out the Kingdom Hearts story, it would look like one of those boards in a murder revenge film of trying to figure
lines.
out the lines going everywhere and trying
Yeah.
to figure out what belongs where and who's connected
Somebody
to who.
with a fucking homeless beard just in a
Yeah.
corner, just eating a pen, trying to figure out what the storyline is.
Laces out, Sora. So, if I understand this, Kingdom Hearts 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue is meant to be the bridge between Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, Birth by Sleep, 356 divided by 2, Dream Drop Distance.
356 over 2. Would you mind at least getting the nomenclature right if you're going to talk
My
about
mistake.
it?
And Kingdom Hearts 3. But I have a question for Square Enix. Why 2.8?
And why Roman numerals and then not Roman numerals
Even
in the
that,
same line?
the mix and match there is a grab bag of the most diabolical type. But where's 2.9? Like, you're going from 2 to 3, you make a 2.5. They made a 2.5. Now we're going 2.8. Did they try to do 2.75, but someone in executive was like, that's ridiculous. No one's going to go for a 2 significant digit Kingdom Hearts pseudo
trying to
sequel.
think,
You got to round it up.
Were there 8 games leading up to 3? Maybe that's where the
Oh,
point
hold
8's
on.
coming
Maybe
from?
you got
Doubt
something
it.
here. Let's think about it.
I really doubt it.
There's,
I've got the chronological list here. Okay, so
all
check
right,
this
count
out.
them up.
Kingdom Hearts 1.
Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. Blank Points begins at that stage. Kingdom Hearts
What does that mean?
followed by Kingdom Hearts 358 Days Over 2, which is spelled 358/2 days.
Yes.
FYI, in case you've never seen it before. Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. Kingdom Hearts fucking Chain of Memories happens while 358 over 2 is happening.
Yeah.
Correct.
They can't even list it chronologically. They have to fucking splice that out. 358 over 2 ends after Chain of Memories, then Kingdom Hearts 2. Kingdom Hearts Coded, Signs of What's Next. I don't know what that is. Blank
don't know.
Points ends. Blank Points is happening the whole fucking time, by the way, since I
What's
introduced
Blank
that
Point?
I've even
before.
heard of Blank Point.
Is that it must be a Japanese only thing.
No, it might
know
be
what
like
it
an
is.
era that's happening, like an epoch in the Kingdom Hearts.
Maybe, yeah.
Blank Points is the secret ending of Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep and Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep Final Mix.
okay.
Okay, so the secret ending. So that's not a game.
Oh, okay. Well, now I'm kind of curious to play that. Anyway.
Part of the problem, Bear.
Yeah, I know. Kingdom Hearts 3D, Dream Drop Distance, and then finally Kingdom Hearts 3. So between all that, we have 1.5 and 2.5, which are just the remade / final mix versions of any of those games that I listed before.
While you were doing all of that, Mathas was actually actively trying to tally the numbers, and at some point he couldn't anymore. Like, as you were saying them, he still couldn't do it.
I was just reading down a list, admittedly, with a little bit of flash.
1,
but still.
2, 3, 4,
He
5,
had to go
6,
for the source.
7. So that game that's coming out will make 8.
Okay.
That's more than I thought.
I think we're giving him more credit for it than they're due.
I don't know. That might be it, man. Otherwise, why wouldn't you make it 2.9? Because 2.9 is more before 3 than 2.8 is.
Mathematically, you're fucking correct, but
5, 6, 7.
I don't
Maybe
know,
they're
man.
taking a page out of the Firefox book, and they're going to start at point releases, and soon they're going to start going like one every couple months. And then in a year, it'll be like Kingdom Hearts 32, right? They'll just go exponentially up.
I just wish this didn't exist, first of all, because we already got 2.5.
Right.
What do we get out of this? We get 0.2, which, when you quantify it like that, it sounds like it's going to be a 30-minute cutscene. I think it will be.
Putting 0.2 in the title of your game is just a very bold marketing strategy.
We're giving you a fifth of a game. Enjoy.
So the collection will feature an HD remaster of Dream Drop Distance, as well as Kingdom Hearts X back cover, which was shown at Tokyo Game Show in 2012.
Oh, that's not just
previously-
describing the box art.
Right, previously known as Kingdom Hearts for PC browsers. That's a riveting title.
Okay, what?
It is a browser
Browsers?
game. It is a browser game for PCs and is only playable in Japan since July 18th, 2013. It features cartoon-like 2D models and is a prequel to the entire series, taking place during the Keyblade War. An international port of the game, Kingdom Hearts Unchained X, was released for Android and iOS devices, featuring content from the original game's release. So that whole game is being shoved into 2.8 final chapter prologue.
You know, the button on Twitter that says translate, we need one of those for each one of these titles so we can put it into an actual, like, any kind of meaning.
It's set to tell the tale of the foretellers and revealing new parts of the
Who
series
the fuck
history.
are the foretellers?
It's part of the Keyblade
They're like
Wars,
the
man!
Forerunners.
Are you listening?
I like these games. I have no fucking idea what you're talking about. I've played
then-
a lot of them.
The final piece is going to be Kingdom Hearts 0.2 Birth by Sleep, a fragmentary passage, a new part of the story taking place after the events of the original Birth by Sleep, told from the perspective of Aqua.
Who is Aqua?
She's one of the 3 people you play in Birth by Sleep.
Okay.
One of the gemstones from Steven Universe.
It's Spanish for water.
No,
That's
Aqua.
Aqua, you-
All right.
Oh,
You
sorry, I
dunce.
misheard.
The Little Mermaid.
So there's like
level,
3
we're sitting.
timelines that are just you have to follow. You have to follow like the Keyblade Wars, the stuff before Sora. Well, actually, then the stuff while Sora is asleep, and then the stuff after Sora wakes up.
Doesn't Sora go into the Matrix also?
Well, while Sora's having
That's like
dinner one
Kingdom
time,
Hearts
then
2
Birth by Sleep fragmentary passage is happening. So
That's what I'm
all
saying. The storyline
wrapped
is
into one.
fucking nonsense, but people eat this shit up.
I eat this shit up. I eat a lot of this shit, and now I'm starting to question whether or not this shit is healthy.
I've
What?
played the main games and one of the mobile titles, and that's
About
it.
this.
Wait, what?
I don't understand the process of going, like, all the things we just said, that goes, okay, now that's compelling content. I want to know more. Like, how do you jump over that?
No, it's for people who are fans. It's like I don't
Right.
think anybody can jump into this series like cold anymore.
No,
it's too
yeah,
fucking.
it's
weird.
impossible. We don't even know where to start because they keep changing the fucking starting point.
Yeah.
At least with like Metal Gear Solid 5, you don't need to know the story that much because the gameplay is compelling. Kingdom Hearts gameplay is like people are gonna crucify me for this. It's like a 7 out. It's like okay. It's not great. It's not
It's a
terrible.
basic ARPG.
Yeah, exactly.
all it is.
Does nothing freaking great. But people, when they saw like what is it, the Thunder Mountain summon from the trailer for Kingdom Hearts 3, people fucking lost their shit. They were so excited. And I'm like,
I will say the Kingdom Hearts 3 stuff is still looking good. I'm still excited for Kingdom Hearts 3. All this bullshit that's happening between now and Kingdom Hearts 3 is what's pushing me away from Kingdom Hearts 3. I think Kingdom Hearts 3 with its open world mechanics and with what I've seen of it is still going to be awesome. But every time this happens, I don't want to support it anymore.
What have you played, Bear, out of the Kingdom Hearts stuff?
I've played, I played 1 and 2. I got 1.5, 1.2. I got a little bit into 358/2. I got, I don't remember. I don't know the names of the games that I played.
Can you even understand? Though?
No.
Do you even understand the story that's happening?
I got it all the way through the Organization 13 stuff. I was on board with everything there. I started to figure out like the fucking no
Xehanort and all that shit.
No, I know those people. I know all the X people. I know Roxas, and I know Axel.
I've heard that name
his
before.
buddy. Axel's red-haired dude.
Yeah.
Got it memorized.
You know,
Roxas, come on, man. Roxas is sore as nobody, man. Don't you know this?
What's your favorite vocal tick from characters found in the Kingdom Hearts series?
I've actually only played Kingdom Hearts 1, and I played it. My favorite memory of Kingdom Hearts 1, which I actually liked a lot, was I borrowed it from my friend, and then I gave it back to him in front of like this girl he liked in 9th grade science class. And he was like,
man.
He's like, come on, dude. Like, don't give me Kingdom Hearts here. There's girls here. It's like a Final Fantasy Disney crossover when you're trying to establish your name as a young man.
Did they end up getting hitched?
No, they did date for a while, but it didn't end well.
I thought maybe their mutual love of Kingdom Hearts would be revealed at that moment.
No, I think I probably set him back, sexually speaking, like 6 months at least.
Oh man.
That'll do it. Completely
Kingdom
new
Hearts.
part of the story. Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts Point 2, Birth by Sleep, a fragmentary passage.
How did this all happen? I thought the beginning of this was people are really still excited about Final Fantasy VII potentially getting remade in like the year 2000.
Yeah.
Right? Because people have wanted that forever. So like here's some 3D models that don't look like total ass on the PS2 that are involved in this other universe. It's crossover fan fiction. People love that. You never know what direction it's going to go. And it's got all these big names and marketing stuff. So it's like get to go on like a little mini Disney World tour with an ARPG in it. That part I get. That part makes sense. Then it goes off into this bizarre Matrix story, and now I'm so gone.
No, dude, I'm reading it. So
Totally don't understand it.
This perfectly encapsulates how crazy the story is. So here's a very small slice of one of the things that happens in one of the stories. Terra, who's one of the characters you play in Birth by Sleep, is converted into Xehanort's new vessel, whose experiments later turn his heart into Ansem and his body into Xemnas. Ventus sacrifices himself to defeat his dark doppelganger, Vanitas, to stop Xehanort's plan to obtain the X-Blade, to which his body is placed
What is the X-Blade?
somewhere within Castle Oblivion, while his heart ended up with the body of Sora himself, and new Keyblade Master Aqua ends up trapped in the realm of darkness after sacrificing herself to save Terra.
This is exactly like when I was reading the wiki for Mega Man ZX. It had just the same... Yeah.
But people are like, no, man, that makes sense. Do you not understand?
What is a vessel? Is this like Bleach?
So
I
like
got the impression this is Bleach.
I don't know, man. No, it's like Xehanort doesn't die. I think he just transfers himself, but like his heart became one person and his body became another.
So it's like the reverse fusion dance. They split together.
I think this is one of those things, and I say this with no judgment whatsoever, but there's like an anime looking glass. And you're on one side of the anime looking glass, and once you cross over, you can't go back. And like, I don't think I've crossed over, because sometimes Kate will be like, yeah, it's like a high school, but they're all vampires, and they like fight demons. And I'm like,
That's like on Netflix.
I don't get it. Like, it doesn't go into my brain. And the Kingdom Hearts stuff is like way on the other side.
There's
And,
like a whole nother glass divider separating those people from the
oh
guys
yeah,
you're talking about
I don't even know what's
previously.
going on. That's like some portal on the other side of that one.
Kate's sitting there looking at the Kingdom Hearts people like they're fucking. Well, no, they're crazy. I don't
Yeah,
get anything
right,
They're
yeah.
talking about.
It's like if they
I
at least
watched a
gave them.
shitload of anime. I don't get all this stuff.
I was like, as long as it'd be a little easier to follow if they just like some of the names weren't like fucking bizarre as shit.
I don't mean to say, by the way, I apologize there. I'm not trying to like alienate the people that like Kingdom Hearts, because again, I really like the games. games. I have fun with them, but the fucking stories.
I was
bonkers.
midnight release for Kingdom Hearts 2. I was so into it. I loved it. Like, I got the story of Kingdom Hearts 1, and I was, like, pumped to have more. But then they were just like...
The MGS2'd you.
Yeah, they're just like, we're just going to
play as
do...
Raiden now.
There's, like, 3 secret endings, and then they allude to the Keyblade Wars, and it's like, oh, this goes way into a deeper hole than I'm prepared to jump into right now.
Yeah.
They saw the potential. Like, we need to set up for about 7,000 more games. So we're just going to make it all basically variables, anime variables, named things.
I should have seen
gets
this.
me is from like a business perspective. It seems so Square Enix-y. And this is all like, because I haven't followed it since 2002. This is all like theory crafting. But like, if they wanted to just milk it, why don't they just make like Kingdom Hearts 3, 4, 5, 6, etc., etc.? But it seems like kind of the Square Enix thing to do of like, oh, we had like a really successful franchise. What we're going to do is never release a direct sequel for it and instead just release like a bunch of side stories that people...
Right?
Are they though? Like, why don't they just make... If they
Well,
want
they
to
are
make
making
money...
3 now, and it's going to be huge.
It took
because of all
11
the hype.
years!
Yeah.
Is this not potentially more of a pervasive problem than we're realizing? Like, not just for Square Enix, but for a lot of people? In that they create a franchise that does well through a couple of iterations, and then they're afraid to give the series the finality of the third installment.
Well, Assassin's Creed does the same fucking thing. The story is nonsense, and they have like a bunch of side stories via mobiles and other things.
They do both, though. They do direct sequels as well as side stories, all rapid succession.
No,
If
yeah,
they
that's what
did-
they do.
If they did like annualized sequels for Kingdom Hearts, people would be, you know, by this point we'd be tired of it. I guess the fact that we're still talking about it is a success in a way, but we're not really talking about it as like, oh, they like, good on them for sticking to their guns and not making like a direct sequel, because they made all this weird convoluted stuff in the middle that is confusing for a lot of people, I guess. It just seems weird to me that it's like, if you're going to take the cynical approach of like they're teasing out interest to make money, it doesn't seem like that's like their goal, or they would just make a Kingdom Hearts 3, but why are they making these instead of, like, I don't get it. It's
Well, the other side of the argument is they're extremely passionate about their story, and apparently they're really, really invested in it, which means that they don't really care if it's accessible or if lots of people are going to buy it. So you get people in at the major marker increments, the 1, 2, 3, and then you sort of give the fan service in the side stories, I
it's been
guess.
11 years!
Look, man,
People
I don't know either.
involved in the
I'm throwing out
original
stories.
production of Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, some of them have died.
Yeah.
The 12-year-olds that were playing Kingdom Hearts 2 have now gotten jobs out of university.
It's pretty.
That's
If
what we're
you
talking
were
about.
if you were 13 when Kingdom Hearts 2 came out, you're now like 25.
Yeah.
Almost.
Well, there were
Kingdom Hearts 1
politics,
came
right?
out
They
when?
skipped a hardware iteration.
When did Kingdom Hearts 1 come out? 2002, you said?
2002, yeah.
2002. Yeah, we were actually the 12 and 13-year-olds that were
2003.
playing.
2003?
Now we got a job out of university. Here we are.
There we go. Using that phrase, I mean, is technically correct, but that's not really what people tend to expect.
I mean, I was, 16 when it came out? Kingdom Hearts 1?
Ah, you're old. Ew. Ew,
I
yucky
still
old
loved it.
man.
I played it like crazy.
It was great, man. I'll
was.
tell you what. This is a whole segment of us shitting on Kingdom Hearts 2.8, a game that I am probably going to buy.
Oh yeah, it's not my intention to shit on that.
At the same time, I think when I was at that age, though, I was like heavily like in my anime phase. Like I was watching, like that's all I watched. I would buy the VHSs for $50 that had 2 episodes of anime on it.
Yeah.
And that's what I was doing with my work money.
Could be a chemical thing. Maybe at a certain stage in like your hormonal development, you're more likely to be like able to process these things. And we've
Instead
passed
of,
our
like,
prime now.
Absorbing useful things at school, I was too busy absorbing the lore of Kingdom Hearts. That's where like all of that brain power was going.
Remember when the floor was actually lava?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We don't have that magic anymore.
Anymore? No, we just play video games
Yeah.
instead.
Josh has it still. We don't. Josh found a way
Josh-
to.
When we
Permanently.
lose it, it is absorbed into Josh. He's like the childlike wonder Highlander.
Speaking of Kingdom Hearts game names, I've got one for you. You ready?
Oh, okay.
Metropolis Part 1, The Miracle and the Sleeper. Oh, here's a fun game. Rock Band 4 tracklist song or
Crossover.
Kingdom Hearts
All right, here we
game
go.
name.
Okay.
Okay, ready? There's the first one. Metropolis Part 1, The Miracle and the Sleeper.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. You got let's go with My God is the Sun.
Can I mix and match artists and game titles?
Yeah, you can do that. That works probably a little better.
Lightning Bolt, I Miss the Misery.
That's Rock Band 4 for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's say 358 over 2 by the Killers. That's got to be a little... That throws you off a bit, right?
You threw me off completely.
The full Rock Band 4 track list has been announced.
All right.
Rock Band 4 coming out in, I want to say it's October, right? Something like that.
November?
Soon.
October?
Competing with Guitar Hero Live, which will be coming out around the same time, which is good. Good
I
for
can't
everybody.
wait to see the whole
October
audience
6th.
boo me.
Yeah, no, that's going to be the most exciting aspect by far. I'm going to point out some notable inclusions in the Rock Band 4 track list for those of you who may be curious and don't want to look up the whole thing yourself. You got some Aerosmith on there with Toys in the Attic, Arctic Monkeys, Avenged Sevenfold, some Black Keys, Disturbed Dream Theater making another approach, another attempt at becoming a rock bandable song.
Skip the Cure.
I did skip the Cure. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm just running through real quick here, alphabetically here, just for my personal preference and
Uptown
eliminating
Funk.
the bands that I think are bad.
Oh.
Not really. Fall Out Boy's on there. You got some Foo Fighters. You got some Group Love. Imagine Dragons. Jack White's making an appearance. Judas Priest, Killers, System of a Down, Van Halen, Rush, REM. All kinds of good stuff, man. As expected, Rock Band 4 is going to be a game full of songs that people enjoy and like to play.
That most people of younger age probably don't know.
I don't know. I think there's a few on here.
There's a few that they'll know, like Uptown Funk.
Yeah, I'm surprised
That's
that
not-
made the cut. That I guess
He's gonna
that
give
is,
it to you.
That is this Rock Band edition's. If we don't include this song, people will riot.
People won't buy it.
People
Yeah.
won't. People won't buy it, and people will riot.
Oh shit.
That is an old marketing
Wait.
term.
Can we pick out from this list which one of these is the Green Grass and High Tides?
Oh sure. Does that make
Meaning
sense
like
to
the
everyone?
final boss.
Yeah, yeah.
track?
So last, actually, I think our final boss track was always Boston's Foreplay Long Time. Yep, that's
Yeah.
the one. Mm-hmm. That was the closer. What was your closer song? Every time you played Rock Band, you had to have a closer song. What was it?
Another attempt at Fire and Flames on. Well, that was
Okay.
Guitar Hero, but
Yeah.
like they actually did port that over to Rock Band eventually, and it was
Man.
like way harder.
Did you ever beat
unbelievably.
it?
I beat it 1,000,000 times on hard, but I only got to like 76% or something on expert. I never quite made it.
Mathas, you a Rock Bander?
I was into Rock Band 1 for a little while. I was by the point Rock Band 1 had come out, I was kind of worn out on the music stuff. And
By the
I
time
was
Rock Band
living,
1 came out?
well, I didn't have like the room for like all of the instruments.
Oh, yeah.
In like I was living in my mom's basement, so Guitar Hero kind of was like the only thing that I really was playing. I don't know why I didn't like the Rock Band guitar very much. I remember
Me
not
either.
liking it.
Yeah,
I used the
right.
Guitar Hero
Faster.
3 Les Paul.
Yeah,
For
I
Rock
remember it
Band.
being completely shitty.
It's not
The
that
odds
bad.
over there.
This is how the spectrum goes. It's like you're teetering on top of a mountain, and as soon as something's not good, it's dog shit.
The game was good. I think the guitar, the original guitar that came with Rock Band 1 was crap.
I kind
not
of
that
agree.
bad.
I think the Rock Band guitar is kind of garbage.
It's not good. It's not better. Like the Flying V, I really liked. The Les Paul is fine, but the Stratocaster is okay.
You're getting lower and lower on the totem pole of what you actually
There's
think
We
about this
used
guitar.
it for like 3 years.
I will not.
perspectives are basically that the Rock Band one is super clicky. It's got deep
Yeah.
buttons, whereas the Guitar Hero ones are raised more. So when you're done, you can basically slide your finger over it. I preferred that myself. I don't think it's bad in either direction, but that's what I liked.
All
I
right.
probably won't be picking up the new Rock Band though. I just have no need for the whole like set of drums and guitars and stuff again. It'll be one of those things that maybe I'll use a few times and then eventually it'll start collecting dust and taking up space.
No, it will. Yeah, I mean, obviously. Here's your tier ranking of peripheral equipment for Rock Band and Guitar Hero games. You got your Les Paul up there is number 1 or 2. I bought myself some Ion drums, which
next
cost a
level.
few $100s, but they were totally worth it, so I'm going to put them up there too. The Rock Band original guitar is actually in the same category as playing the game with a gamepad.
Oh, that's bullshit.
Those are the exact same
I
experience.
put like probably 600 or 700 hours into Rock Bands 1, 2, and 3. That is just malarkey.
That guitar is you'd have better luck playing with it upside down than you would play
That
with
is
it regularly.
nonsense.
It's just bad.
Just absolute nonsense.
This track list is pretty impressive, though. I am looking forward to another iteration. I don't know really what I'm expecting out of Rock Band 4, though, that would make me think, oh, this is the game that we were hoping for when it was still a big popular thing. When
I don't think that's the goal.
I mean, what are they trying to do then?
I just think it
Refresh
was like
public consciousness.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's more of a like enough time has passed, maybe people will buy this again.
Well, that makes
Got
sense.
oversaturated, you give it some space and some drop distance, and then you drop another one.
You can't get away from it now.
Can't do it.
Well, Rock Band 3 was in October of 2010, so it was about 5 years ago that this happened.
Yeah.
That seems like a reasonable time to... Well, they certainly haven't been developing Rock Band 4 since then. That's definitely not the case.
Harmonix made Rock Band Blitz, and then they did that Disney game.
They supported the hell out of 3 with DLC, though.
Yeah,
They
remember?
did like 3 years worth of incremental DLC, and I bought a lot of it.
Yeah, they were doing it every week for a while. They were having new songs out every week. They had the Rock Band Network, which was doing really well. People were actively trying to build the library for the Rock Band Network just on their own time.
I had a blog that I actually had bookmarked that was like, this is this week's new songs. And I'd be like, oh shit, there's like 5 I want. And then I'd go buy them all.
Yeah, you had to budget for that. I had like $80 a month I had budgeted toward Rock Band music.
Yeah, you're like, oh, is this song worth $250? I don't know. Is it
Sometimes they're
worth
99
$250 to get Just What I Needed by the Cars? I mean, it's fun, but it's kind of easy.
Yeah, loop 9 times for a 25-minute experience.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
let you do a preview of it, though. They give you like 30 seconds into each track.
Yeah,
which I really
I was
appreciated.
saying they had a really good system going with Rock Band Network and the music library, too, for DLC. It was
I just
great.
hate that all my DLC's on my 360, and I'm going to be getting the new one on PS4, so I just am so screwed.
Your
I don't
life's
know what to
over.
do.
You got to get an Xbox One. That's the only thing.
It actually might be the thing that makes me get an
Might be cheaper.
Oh no.
For your financial investment up
I don't
front,
want
you
an
kind of have
Xbox,
to.
but that might be cheaper.
Yeah.
I mean,
Rock
if you
Band
get,
needs to come out with like an account that you can just log into. Right.
Yeah.
And just transfer your
That
songs.
would be
It'd be
awesome.
fantastic.
They had the Pro Guitar as well, which is something I forgot about with Rock Band 3. And I had one, and it worked. I mean, it was pretty
Really?
impressive.
It worked?
Yeah, it worked. It did the thing it was supposed to do. It's just it's not something people want. They say they want it, and they say it would be cool to learn guitar using Rock Band, but nobody wants to actually learn guitar using Rock Band.
Nobody wants to work. And
Yeah, nobody wants to learn a real valuable trade market skill. That would just be stupid.
if you wanted that, you would just play Rocksmith.
Yeah,
That's true.
because Rocksmith does it a lot better.
We could plug a real guitar into it.
But that's what I'm saying is like my argument for nobody wants this in Rock Band is that Rocksmith was almost a perfect guitar education tool, and no one bought it.
Rocksmith is actually pretty popular.
Is it?
Is it?
You guys you're
Compared
negative
to-
Nancy's, man.
No, compared to the sales of Rock Band and
No,
Guitar
of course
Hero.
not. But it's like saying, the sales of freaking like homebrewed horchata are not the same as Coors
Yeah,
Light.
but homebrewed
like,
horchata is not popular. That's the argument you're making.
Okay, according to Steam Spy, because I'm that guy, Rocksmith has 188,000 owners on Steam.
Okay, that's pretty good.
That's a lot. That's a
I
lot
did
of
not expect that. Yeah, that's quite a bit. My bad.
My
I
beat,
did not think it did that well. I was under the impression Rocksmith did not do that well.
Actually,
How many of them know
Rocksmith
how to play guitar now?
2014 has 419,000 owners.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit.
What? Am I just wrong? Rocksmith, I thought was. How did it sell 400,000 copies?
Turns out a lot of people like the guitar.
What?
I had no idea.
All these people bought a cable to play with their actual instruments, right?
It's
They had
not
to,
that
right?
expensive.
No way. I'm really happy for Rocksmith now. This is exciting news.
I've always heard that Rocksmith is a pretty good product.
It is. Yeah, no, I never meant to insinuate that it was bad. I'm just saying that I thought it was not
demand
very
wasn't there.
commercially successful. Well, look at that. Good job, Ubisoft. Ubisoft San Francisco. All right. Well, that's interesting. I'm going to look more into that later on. But anyway, Yeah, Rock Band 4. Full track list is up. If you want to see it, you can totally go look at it. Because it is
I think
interesting.
the track list for Rock Band 4 is the weakest of any of the Rock Band games ever.
Really?
Yes.
Ooh.
I will probably buy the game regardless. And obviously this is something that comes from like a personal taste area. But I've always been the type that is like, I want my Rock Band to be like a selection of relatively easy songs that I know. I'm thinking of stuff like, Celebrity Skin. Let me go back to like maybe Rock Band 2 here.
Sure.
And look at the track list here. Kids in America, stuff like this. I like this. Why does Rock Band 2 not have the track list in the Wikipedia article? This is the only reason anyone wants to go to the Rock Band 2 Wikipedia. Okay, Rock Band 2 track list. And then, like, I want the harder stuff to be classic rock. I want it to be, Flirting with Disaster by Molly Hatchet and, Foreplay Long Time by Boston and other examples of accessible songs that I was a big fan of. Rockin' Me was a really good one, I thought. You Ought to Know was fun, etc., etc. Not everyone's going to be the same kind of person there. And this one for like Rock Band 4, I'm like, I only know like 5 of these songs, and I'm not that excited to play them. Like Short Skirt, Long Jacket, cool.
You got weirdly specific though with your criteria. You started to go into like, all right, and now in the 3 to 4 star tier of difficulty, there can only be classic rock.
Here's my thing. It's basically like I don't recognize a lot of the songs, and the ones I recognize, I don't think are necessarily going to be that much fun to play. There are some exceptions, like Four Non Blondes. What's Up is going to be funny several times, I'm sure. Uptown Funk. Maybe that'll be fun.
The less novelty songs, the better, in my opinion. If there's a silly song, I'd probably only play it twice.
Yes, but then there are some songs that I consider kind of novelty songs, even though most people would probably disagree with me because I don't want to play them more than once. Like shit like Visions in Rock Bands.
Oh, God. That
1
was
or 2.
so bad.
I didn't want to play that either.
Yeah.
And
I forget. Maps?
Maps is a great song.
This was pretty good, though.
The Dream Theater one from Rock Band 2 is just like...
I didn't like it.
Yeah. A lot of the time when I like super, super hard songs in Rock Band 2 that are just like basically impossible for the drummer or guitarist to play, I'm like, I'm playing this as a party game, not as like a score attack thing, so...
Well, you can set your difficulty independently of each other, though. So
yeah, but we don't enjoy listening to Panic Attack for the most part, so... And that's what I mean, like, it's personal taste, but like I'm playing Panic Attack on easy is kind of like... I'm missing both ends
waiting.
of the spectrum there. I'm like, what's the point for me?
You got to find the right people to play Rock Band with. Because if you're playing with the people that love to play Panic Attack on Expert and you're just sitting there...
Yeah, exactly.
You're not going to be having much fun with that.
I don't know why I'm being painted as some kind of Rock Band casual here.
No, you're being painted as... I don't like the new Rock Band track list because it doesn't format itself exclusively to the way I play Rock Band, guys.
Yes, and I'm the one. I'm not spending somebody else's money on Rock Band 4 either. So I think it's a valid concern for me personally. But I was the perfect age to play these games in college. I lived in a house with 7 other people. We always had 4 people to play like every instrument. We were all good on Expert. We taped microphones for Rock Band 3 to like our ventilation duct and hung them down so we could do harmony. We played a ton of Rock Band Beatles. Like we owned all the Rock Band games. I even have Rock Band Blitz, which is...
But I don't think you're the casual. I think you're probably the most intermediate out of all of us here.
But I don't like the track list.
What is the percentage you expect of songs that you think would be fun to play out of a new track list? Like 50%? Or
yeah, maybe 50. But 50? My problem with this, I guess, is kind of that like Rock Band's mine so much DLC already that I can understand why, like, the Heart song is... I kick it out, It's not Barracuda. It's not, I'm trying to think of the other, Crazy on You or something like that. They've already been in there, but at the same time, I'm like, well, I kind of just want, like, Crazy on You.
I had one criticism that I think I'm actually going to change my mind on. I was worried that this was going to be a lot of rehashes from other ones, and granted, there's a couple, I think, but for the most part, it's songs I haven't seen in other rhythm games.
I'm going to give you...
Important.
I'm going to give you 5 songs off the list that we've found here, and if you can tell me affirmatively that those are not mainstream, everybody knows them songs, then I will stand by your point that this is not a solid track list, okay? We'll start off easy. The Killer, Somebody Told Me.
Of course, yeah, it's very
maybe the most ubiquitous song on all of these.
All right. Yeah. Mighty Mighty Boss Tones. The impression that I get.
That's the impression that I... Okay, yeah, I
Yep,
know this one.
That's number 2.
Yeah.
I didn't know that one.
You didn't know that one. Okay,
No.
So that's interesting.
Oh, is that the one that's like... Hey, ho, ha, ho, ho,
It's the Mighty Mighty
ho.
Boss Tone, so it's like ska.
Yeah, I don't know the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones that well.
What's the
though.
name of the
Okay.
Yeah,
song
me
again?
either.
The impression that I get.
It's
You've
never
heard it. I'm pretty
knock
sure
on
you've all
wood
heard
or
it.
something. Knock on.
I
Something
think so.
knock.
Yeah, hold on. Let
That's
me
what
make
I'm
We only
sure.
have
listening
two
to right now.
singles, so I'm guessing that this is the one I know.
Great podcasting
We're on number
moments
2.
here.
Yeah. All right. Hold on. Sorry, I had one. There's Imagine Dragons, which you've probably heard. I bet my life.
I don't know this one, I think.
I don't either, but I imagine it will be okay.
Ah, man! Wow.
I know the one.
Oh,
with,
you've heard this song.
Yeah,
I know
you
the
heard
one
the
where
Mighty
they
Mighty
go like-
Boss Tones one.
Radioactive,
There's,
radioactive.
there's that, of course, as well.
Yeah, we all know this one.
All right, hold on. I'm still looking. This was a challenge to myself as well because I don't know if I can actually do this.
The Who,
Brad
we obviously
Paisley
know that.
featuring Keith Urban start a band.
I don't know
You're all
this
about
but
that,
I
right?
imagine a lot of people do.
Yeah. Short skirt lawn jacket.
Yep,
Of course.
I'm excited for
There's
that
number
one.
3. That might be it, actually.
Friday I'm in Love by the Cure is a big song.
Okay, yeah, there you go. There's the number 4.
Uptown Funk is probably like one of the biggest songs of the last year.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
there you
that'll
go.
be
You got
big.
5. You got it.
I'll admit, and also Panama by Van Halen is that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, which one is that?
You know, it goes Panama.
Oh, yeah, I actually know it.
That's
now.
the only
Okay,
part
yeah,
I
you got
know.
it for me.
It's the one where they say Panama.
Yeah, I remember that now. I just couldn't get the.
But
I
I'm
gotta
like,
listen
okay,
down.
Rest of this song
If,
now. It's
if
good.
you're gonna put a live song in there, it should be Lightning Crashes. You're gonna put an Arctic Monkey song in there, it should be like I Bet You Look Good on the Dance Floor.
You know, I'm really excited that they put Spiders on there because it's great to have representation from the first System of a Down album, but it's like the least song I wanted out of the whole album.
It's gonna be silly.
Except for maybe Sugar, because I've heard
Sugar
enough
would be
of
the
Sugar.
funnest fucking song to play.
It would be fast and energetic, yes, but it
Yeah.
would also be short and repetitive, and Spiders is slow and repetitive. I want something that's a little more dynamic. But
I feel
I'm
like-
glad it got on there at all.
The obvious counterpoint to what I'm saying is that those songs already exist as DLC, and I'm like, yeah. Then I got like the $200 startup fee.
It's also kind of easy to say you got all of those cliche everybody knows them songs in the first 3 games, and those are all supposedly going to be carrying over through your library or like collection of songs into Rock Band 4.
I gotta buy them again though.
I think so.
Is there like
yeah.
a port fee? Because they did that with 2 to 3, where you paid like $12 and you just get all your songs again.
I think it's as far as I've heard, it's if you got them on the same platform that you're going to
Just
get Rock
there.
Band 4 on,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
may transfer.
That's a lot of songs then.
Yeah, it's a good
Imagine doing a
supply.
marathon. You got 300 to 400 songs to choose from.
Imagine paying, $1,000 though to download those 300 to 400 songs.
Mathas, are you
Right?
just sitting there quietly listening to a Mighty Mighty Boss Tones song?
I really am right now. It's fantastic.
Just
This is
popping
like
his head.
middle school. This is like my middle school life right here.
And it's taking up most of your bandwidth to do it too, because you turned
Yeah.
into a robot.
Turning into
Oh,
a
really?
melting
Yeah.
man.
Oh
yeah.
shit. All right, I guess I'm done listening to that.
Am I
That's
turning
okay.
into a robot?
No, you're okay.
Good.
I
All right,
guess
sweet.
Mathas just has a much worse connection than you.
I guess my download speed should be 100. Fuck.
Oh, that sucks. Well,
Skype uses 95 of it.
Well, that was great. Flashback to 1997. I enjoyed
Yeah.
it.
let us know if you're excited about Rock Band 4, the soundtrack, or if you're looking toward getting Guitar Hero Live instead. Also,
Well, let me see. Is the Guitar Hero Live full track list?
I don't think they've announced their full track list, but they do have a few of their.
For all my negativity, it's not really meant to be that negative. I'm going to get it anyway.
Yeah.
And probably what I expect will happen is that I will find some songs from the list that I didn't know and then like.
Right. Same.
There's a song listed on the Guitar Hero Live website, like their official website.
Yeah.
It's called Demon to Lean On, but the album art for it is just a screenshot of an iMessage conversation.
Yeah.
It just says, buying my glow-in-the-dark king of the beach right now. I got you. If you want to give me an address, I'll have him send it. Hell no, bro. I'm buying it. LOL. I've been buying the shit for years. It's tradition. 3 thumbs up emoticons, one of the real ones.
Bear,
That
it's
sounds
gone,
like an actual
it's
album.
gone too far.
I don't get it.
That could be their album art for all we know.
It might be. They've connected on such like a real level with the children.
You think Apple would
I
go after
kinda-
them for using their emoji?
Probably.
Kind of feel like the Guitar Hero Live track list is a little bit more my style right now.
Yeah, I'm looking at a lot of these now. I'm actually starting to agree with you. You got some Soundgarden, Pearl Jam, Tenacious
Oh, when
D
you were
on
young,
here.
that's a big one.
Alice in Chains, Wolfmother,
Yeah.
Weezer, Queen, Biffy Clyro. Oh my God,
What is a Biffy Clyro?
Biffy Clyro. That's gonna be some fun stuff. Look at this. They got like direct listen to Biffy Clyro on Spotify links from Guitar Hero. Oh my God, they're changing my allegiances live. Kasabian, Dream Theater. Has it Kasabian or Kasabian? Who
Kasabian.
knows? Kasabian.
You got it.
Passengers on here. Pearl Jam again. My
Yes.
God.
It's Pearl Jam.
Well, they're certainly
God.
appealing to, guitar-heavy music.
I would hope
As
so.
they should.
Yeah. Skrillex Bangarang.
Oh shit!
Bangarang. Do your best Bangarang.
That's gonna be really fun to sing.
Bangarang. Everybody just has to yell it. Oh man. Well, tell us where your allegiances lie, and we will debate heartily into the night.
There's
Speak
110
next.
songs here.
Speaking of going heartily into the night, it's Party Hard.
Party hard.
Party Hard! The first of two games we're going to be talking about today. It's 3 a.m. Your neighbors are having a loud party. Stop them. Party Hard is Tiny Build's award-winning stealth strategy game about stopping the party by any means. Tiny Build, of course, the publisher known for such games as Speedrunners and Party Hard, a game where you murder everyone. As juxtaposed to Speedrunners, a game where you run really fast and don't kill anybody, as far as I know.
You can knock them unconscious onto spikes, but they'll get back up. They used to die. They patched that out.
You play as someone who's really tired of the neighbors having loud parties. Instead of calling the police, you decide it's a better idea to kill everyone, using your faithful knife and the environment. The tactical strategy follows a series of killings at parties throughout the USA. So
But these are not small soirees. They're like 60 person.
these
Yeah,
are White House gathering parties. So
It's,
this is not just one party that's bothering you. You decide parties across the country need to go down. Right?
I
That's
guess
what
he
I'm being
keeps
led to
moving
believe.
and then being interrupted. Like, why didn't he just move in the first place before he kills everyone? Maybe because he's got to get out of town now that he killed everybody.
I apologize for the weird echo effect there for everybody. He's got to stop moving next to frat houses, I think is the issue.
Or like barbecue areas. Like that's one of the parties you murder. Is like a
Look at
big old
cul-de-sac,
barbecue.
for God's sake. He keeps going places with 100 cars pulling up to these things every 5 seconds.
Yeah, one of them's on like a yacht. Like he had to have ended up on the yacht by choice, right? He didn't just
The game-
happen to be on a yacht.
Is mediocre.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
Tell me about it, yeah. Tell me
It's
about
like-
it, Mathis. Come
it's
on.
like if like Hitman and Hotline Miami had a baby and it was just like a C student.
oh.
With a little McPixel thrown in there for macabre humor's sake.
Yeah, like it's just it doesn't do. It, I mean, it's not like it's broken or anything, but it's just feels uninspired and boring-ish because it's a little too easy. I found.
The gameplay loop is very tedious.
So was the music loop.
A lot
that
of
can
walking
hurt.
slowly back and forth between multiple places, dragging bodies, putting them in a dumpster, waiting for a right thing to happen, then
They don't-
eventually dying and starting over.
They don't punish you hard enough, in my opinion, because like when the cops show up, if they figure out it's you, you can just run away from the cop until he just gives up and says, "I'll get you next time." I'm like, you just
I'm
murdered.
too old for that shit.
Yeah, he's like, he's too old for that shit. And he leaves. He gets in this cop car and leaves with like bodies on the floor. And he's like, all right, I'm just going to keep murdering the rest of this party, I guess, until you come back. And then I just run away from you.
But then
There's-
Mario shows up and nails the window shut, and then you can't go anymore. That's really what happens. Like, it stops you from being able to exploit that anymore. So they are aware that that's a thing.
It's not, but it's not like it's not enough because I've usually been able to beat the level by running away from him 2 or 3 times without having to worry about it. And when by the time Mario boards up all the shortcuts, I've killed everybody. Like the level's over.
Are we talking
the cops should just
Mario,
never
like
leave.
Mario Maker Mario?
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks like red shirt, blue overalls. He comes out with a
Kicks the
hammer
shit
and
out of
starts.
you, too.
Yeah,
He
can't
knocks you
kill
to the
him.
ground, stomps your head for a while while
man.
he does that.
It's I just like I feel like the game wants you to be stealthy and quiet, and when you fuck up, it should just be a huge, like the cop should never leave. The cop should chase you
Well,
so
yeah,
that it
definitely.
demands perfection out of you.
If they're
And it
sending
doesn't.
one patrol car for a party where there are 27 corpses lining the floor, I feel like that's maybe a little underwhelming.
And he just puts them in body bags and then leaves.
Yeah.
The cops pull up and kill 20 people when they smear them across the road.
Oh yeah, the cop pulls up.
Sorry.
It requires, acknowledging that this is a gameplay abstraction.
Yes.
It's not set in like
No!
a David Cage
I will
universe.
not.
I'm just saying, like the punishment isn't punishing enough. It's too, in my opinion, too easy, and the gameplay loop, like Nick said, gets very repetitive and pretty boring pretty quickly. The environment kills are not varied enough or interesting enough to really
Right.
hold the game above mediocre.
That's what I thought was going to be the differentiating quality when I heard what this premise was, that it was going to be combos where you creatively figure out ways to link one sequence to another and then eliminate the whole thing in one fell swoop, so you could clear a level in like maybe a minute if you know what to do perfectly.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
I want to do some like every extend extra stuff and have like every interactive part of the environment somehow play a role if you're creative enough. That's not what happens. You just slowly stab everyone, carry them to the dumpster, kill 2 or 3 people sometimes by poisoning the food.
And then you do it on a boat.
I didn't get to the boat.
There's no boat?
I'm sure there is. I didn't get to it.
Need a boat.
Neither did I.
I don't
Took me
think
an
it's
hour to
that
beat the first
bad,
level.
personally.
Yeah, I was waiting for that. Yeah, tell me about it.
I wanted to let everyone get the anger out first. But I don't necessarily think it's like. Mathas said is a C student. I don't disagree with that, but I don't think it's like a high school C or, God forbid, a middle school C. I think it's like a college C. It's like, you worked hard in high school, you got into a good school, you're getting C's, but you're still going to graduate with like, your master's in microbiology or something like that, right? Like it's not. I don't think it's a bad game. I don't find the gameplay loop tedious. Is the punishment punishing enough? I think it is because. You could spend 10 minutes setting up a level, and then if you fuck it up at the last possible second, you have to start over from zero, which I honestly found it a little bit too punishing, but they have to inflate the length of the game somewhat. Otherwise, it's only like 8 levels. Bonus points because Twitch chat integrates with it adequately, and it works.
How does that work, by the way?
You just basically give it you have like a little token that you can give the game, and then it logs into your Twitch chat as you, and basically does like a straw poll, bean poll type thing,
Okay.
choice chamber style.
Yeah.
And people vote on like the next thing they want to show up at the party. There's a little bit of a lack of variety, and usually there's like things that chat just prefers. Like they'll be like, well, if I have a choice between like a bear and a bodybuilder, I'm sending the bear to the party, right?
Yeah, obviously.
A bodybuilding bear would have been ideal.
It would be cool if there was more absurdity like that. But then if you put a bodybuilding bear in there, you got to come up with something that's going to get 50-50 with the bodybuilding bear.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
But I don't know. At that point, we need like some top men on that job. I don't think it's that bad, though. I mean, I had a reasonable amount of fun with it. I probably won't play much more than we did on the NLSS the other day, but I thought it was okay.
Just okay.
Yeah,
Party
just okay.
hard. Just okay.
Like it found a niche, it just needed to push the absurdity higher is all. Like the gameplay just was a little slow.
And variety. The variety, needed a big bump.
The game has a beautiful and richly detailed pixel art style. Would you agree with that?
Yeah. No, I like
Yeah,
the
I
art
think it
quite a
looks
bit.
good.
I think it looks good.
I think it suffered a little in that the perspective made it sometimes hard for me to tell when I had line of sight with people because you can't always see the windows perfectly clearly. So I ended up losing a lot of times for, basically not realizing there was someone watching that I thought there was a wall.
I've also had the problem of like, am I on the right plane to stab this person? I've like stabbed and missed because I thought I was lined up with them, but I'm not.
The
Right.
classic
So
brawler
you're just like,
Z-axis
whoop, you
thing.
miss, and they're like, oh, they run. You're like, you would have been dead if I,
They're always
thought I
faster to
was-
get to the phone. For a killer, you have
Yeah.
no stamina at all. Like, you can run for 3 seconds, and that's it. I think it'd be better prepared. You think you'd have
killer's
more
stamina.
weapons.
You would think the first thing you do as a murderer is disconnect all the phones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why, you can sabotage the oven and stuff. Why can't you just cut the phone lines first?
Well, I guess you
It's
don't
not-
want to...
I hate this argument of like, all games are abstractions to
Ryan, I
some
was
degree.
It was a joke.
Why don't you just lock the doors and light the house on fire, right? It's a game. The gameplay loop is stabbing people, pseudo stealth, running away from the police. It's
But
like
wouldn't it be cool if you could sever the phone lines and cut the power, and there would be like reactions they'd have? Like, because if you cut the power, obviously everybody's either going to freak out and panic and run away, or they're going to treat it like a lights out party.
Yeah.
There'll be bodies all over the floor, and they'll just keep partying.
Oh, they
don't
keep
care.
dancing. It's
You can
hilarious.
decapitate the DJ. They'll keep dancing.
That'd
like-
be a fucking awesome
When
party.
They get weirded out
Pac-Man
when
eats
you
a
dance.
power pellet and eats a
Yeah.
ghost, the ghost goes back to the graveyard, but then it just comes out later. Like, what? I don't understand. The ghost
can't
is
kill
getting
ghosts, man.
reincarnated
Ghosts
as
are
more
immortal.
ghosts?
Why can't you be the ghost in Pac-Man, huh?
Exactly.
Where's that storyline?
Just mod it.
It's like you can't make the argument. You can make the argument, but it falls on deaf ears for me that, like, you know, why can you do this but not this? I do agree that it would be cool if there were more environmental things that you could do. Most of the environmental stuff is just like it lights a fire or like it causes an explosion or, you know, you can push someone into this exploding barrel. I agree that it would be cool if there was like mousetrap style stuff where you could kind of set up like a Rube Goldberg machine. But I also feel like that's a little bit of a different game.
I'm going to side with Mathas and Nick here to say that we don't really have a lot of kill everyone at a party simulators to base our ideas of this off of, so we're maybe trying to hash it out a bit to figure out where this genre could go, right? As opposed to just sort of accepting this is like, this is our first point of entry into kill everybody at a party games, right?
Well, I just feel like the game straddles a line of like it doesn't know if it wants to be like super stealthy or super goofy, and it can't figure out what side of that line it wants to be on, so it does both sides mediocre.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like it takes a serious approach to a goofy premise, and neither of those things really mesh with each other. So if you could just amp up the absurdity and make the gameplay from moment to moment more dynamic, I think you'd have a better time. But I grant that they've also found some good things about it too.
How heavy is the... It's not hyper violent, is it? Or
It's pretty violent.
It's pretty
It's
violent.
extremely violent.
is
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
I mean, like when you kill a DJ, you like put his head on the DJ turnstile.
Platter.
Oh,
And his
okay,
neck
good.
just
See, I
keeps
was hoping it
skewing.
was going to be more like that. I
It's like
that
comic
about it.
violence, but
Yeah,
it is
yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm almost selling myself on Party Hard right now.
When you push someone into a flaming barrel, you see like their skeleton on fire and they're like flailing around like. So
And then people come dance by the ashes.
this is correct. Yeah.
Well,
I'm not
like,
gonna
while
argue
they're
that
on
the
fire,
people
right?
in the game act logically. The people in the game act extremely illogically.
Well, I think the point, like even Nick was saying, is the problem is they don't react enough about anything. They don't do much.
It sounds like
And
at all sometimes is the issue.
It does. Their reactions are dance, randomly go from room to room, or call the cops. And that's
My
about it.
framework for thinking about Party Hard is that it's basically like a higher res single screen arcade game, like a Crystal Caverns or something like that. Like I don't necessarily, and this is not to give it like extra leniency, but rather than considering it like a more modern game with like a linear progression, like Hotline Miami or something like that, I consider this is basically like a score attack game that with like a Super Nintendo style art.
I really think a lot of my arguments would fall away if there just was more, and I'll say it for a millionth time, variety in the gameplay. More things to do, more things to interact with. Maybe even make it a little bit more faster paced. I don't know. I just want more craziness happening within the game because too often I found myself just being like, well, I just have to wait for this person to walk into the other room by himself so I can stab him and get rid of him because I'm out of things within the environment to play with.
Is that on you as a player to figure out different ways to interact with it, or
No,
are there just
I have
not a
straight
good
up
amount
because
of
like
options?
you can press a button and see everything you can interact with.
Oh, okay.
In the environment. So when you've used all of those and there's still like 10 or 15 people left, now you have to wait for them to be by themselves so you can stab them and then get rid of them.
You can't just accept a half-assed job, right? You can't say, "Well, I've killed 20 of the 40
Right,
people
your guy
here."
won't.
They're probably,
He won't take that as an answer.
man,
So more things. Just give me more toys, and I would be very happy.
that's fair. Well, Party Hard is $12.89, which is an interesting price. It's available on Steam right now. You can go get it. Developed by Pinnacle. Pinokl. Pinnacle Games.
Pinnacle.
There you go.
All right, cool. Next up, Super Mario Maker.
Super Mario.
Super Mario Maker. Game by Nintendo, shockingly.
I know. Weird.
It's out on Wii U right now. It's $60. It is apparently just a whole bunch of fun.
It's really good.
Is it really, really good?
Yeah, I like it.
Is it like top tier good?
I think so.
Wow. Tell me about Super Mario Maker.
Nick, we'll let you start this one.
All right, so I guess I'll do that then. I'll be the guy that's the opposite of Mathas then. I think it's a great premise. I think it's a flawed execution. I think they missed a lot of things that could have made this really elevate into a higher strata of introducing people to the concept of level design using the framework of Mario, which is something that we are generally very nostalgic for. What I mean specifically is this is a level editor you're paying $60 for. As you start it up, you're given just a very small amount of tools, and generally that's fine. I think for people that are starting up on this thing, they want to kind of experience a small grouping as they are provided them. You have to essentially place a whole bunch of blocks, though, to unlock more. So if you're somebody who wants to try to get to the greater elements of Mario, you've got to spend a bunch of time discovering this metagame of like how Nintendo wants you to get to the rest of the stuff, which since I paid $60, I'd really like to just have a button that says unlock all because I don't need to be spoon-fed it, you know? Mm-hmm. The real problem I have, though, is twofold. One of them is it's very hard to discover the exact type of levels that you want to play. If you've got a group of friends, it's maybe a little bit tricky to find their stuff over other people's stuff. The other thing is there's a lot of stuff missing in my preferences. There is not an ability to make worlds. You can make a sequence of 4 levels in a row, but you can't make like an overworld map and then put a bunch of levels in. There's also a lot of items and enemies and combinations that I think, should be able to do if you really want to create a proper Mario experience. Things like secret exits, the keys and locks are just not there. There's no references at all to Super Mario 2 or Mario Land for that.
Well, they like to pretend that didn't exist, right?
Yeah, well, it's kind of a different genre in essence compared to the other Mario games. But since they have... You know, they pay lip service to things like the Wii Fit balance board and Rob the Robot in costumes. Why not Mario 2, right? I mean, there's a lot of stuff.
You do, though. You have the Shy Guy costume from Mario 2. And when you win the level as him, it gives you the little victory song from Mario 2.
You can't make like a waterfall with logs coming down. You can make sort of
yeah. You can't make a Mario 2.
Well, Mario 2 is admittedly very different gameplay.
It's kind of an open world game, which I think a lot of people would love to be able to use the framework of what they've given you to create stuff without a timer and just have a bunch of different exits and find your own way through it and just make a platform instead of make individual Mario levels. Now, if this game was $20 or if it was, you know, presented a little differently and it wasn't so much oriented towards like, this is our official chance at giving people an opportunity to figure out level design, I think I would be able to get behind it a little bit more. But the way that they marketed it makes me kind of just wish it was more of a platform instead of just a kind of a one-off affair. Anything I say resonate with you guys?
So, well, I'll say that, okay, first of all, own a Wii U don't have Super Mario Maker, so I think I'm going to change that pretty soon. But I've seen plenty of it on Twitch, and I think that's, you know, just as suitable for drawing an opinion of it. It's kind of just what I expected it to be from Nintendo. I think they recognize that they've got a property that could benefit from the ongoing craze of we want to make our own stuff with your game. Yeah. And that...
They still claim it on YouTube, though, but that's fine.
Well, yeah, they're gonna. But with Nintendo, I can't look at Nintendo and think to myself, like, they're gonna make a Minecraft Mario. Like, they're not gonna do that. They're gonna make it a handheld... They're not handheld, like literally a handheld, but I'm talking about they're going to hold your hand through a lot of the experience because this is a game probably designed to allow, you know, 6 or 7-year-olds to maybe pick it up and try to figure it out as they go. Right. So there should be an unlock all button. I wish that existed. That would really
I agree
really
on
helpful.
That, absolutely. Yeah.
But, you know, it's being Mario about the build it phase of gaming. I can't figure out a better way to explain that because it really is just the way that Nintendo is going to approach this and say, we have, here's your tools, here's the space we've given you to play with, and that's going to be it. And we're going to keep the reins here for as long as possible, but you can play with these little toys for a little while.
That's right. And it is consistent with the Nintendo narrative in that way. I feel like they have given you ample opportunities to have fun, but it is sort of within their own box of what they think you should be allowed to do. And I just really like breaking stuff in general. I think that's the most fun. And if you're going to open it up to making levels, you know, why not let players have fun the way they want to have fun? That being said, I don't think it's bad. And I think the approach and the UI, for the most part, are very well done. It's got a charming element to it, and they've sort of harkened back to like Mario Paint style Even down to the fact that there's a hidden mini game of doing the fly swatter coffee time thing from Mario Paint, which I found by accident, and it was kind of delightful. Then I had to figure out how I triggered it because it wasn't then unlocked for me to play whenever, so I had to keep placing question mark blocks and moving them around. But it's nice that they have little details like that.
If I'm entirely abandoning my cynicism, though, I gotta say, like, this is pretty great. Like, it's been awesome to see Mario games that were made by people that are just being completely absurd. And, you know, of course there's going to be 1,000 Bashi-esque stages made in the first 3 days, and that was fun for a little while. But now I'm seeing a lot of levels that have a lot of heart put into them. People have been spending days since the game came out just developing stages that they have had their hearts set on. And this is going to help a lot of people out in learning how to make stages. Even though this is a very limited tool set, it's still
a good introduction.
Yeah, it's a great intro, especially for younger kids who are getting into Mario like this and seeing that it's something that a lot of their friends are playing too, because they are all interested in these games that allow you to just kind of freely create and explore your own ideas. So it's pretty terrific that they're doing this because it's just encouraging that sort of creativity for people.
I like I definitely agree with Nick where like Nintendo's online bullshit of like trying to find your friends is impossible. I wish they would just like have a search bar and be like search for your friend and just find your friends so you can follow them.
That's too dangerous though, man.
It's too we don't
want to have
they're convoluted like
fake names associated with people.
16-digit like a passcode. I hate that. It's pervasive through all of Nintendo's online formats for all of their games. It's really annoying and it's stupid. But like one of the things I really love about the game is like for things like Little Big Planet, I've always wanted to make levels. I always wanted to be like play with it, but I never found it fun or like enjoyable, and I don't know why. But with Mario Maker, but it's just like maybe too much or just like
tons of tools in Little Big Planet. Mario Maker's just the distilled down nuggets.
And it's but like actually like dragging and dropping and like making the levels is fun, and whether it just be like the silly goofy noises or like the fun feedback of just watching a Goomba grow because you threw a mushroom on him, like, and just having like a cat paw come like on the TV to represent your hand, like that. Those little things make it whimsical and fun for me to make a level, and I spend hours now just because I enjoy making a level and then just playing through them very seamlessly of like making a level, hitting play, testing it, knowing what needs to be fixed, hit edit. It's very easy.
The tablet controller, this is the best argument that I've seen so far for its use. It is
absolutely
almost inextricably tied to this concept, and if you had to do this by hand, it would be a lot more tedious.
Which is another huge problem I have with, I guess, Little Big Planet, which now that I kind of vocalize it makes sense. Like using the controller to build a level is
imprecise.
Bitch.
Well, it's two things. It's not only is it imprecise, you're using an analog stick, and there's not necessarily a grid either, although there can be. In this, you're looking at a 2D side-scrolling game, which has a grid. You can't not place things on the lines. So it's a lot less variables that way.
Yeah, I think you just kind of hit the nail on the head of why this is going to work and why it does have a mass appeal, because almost every game now has a level editor, at least when it makes sense to do so. And you rarely see them blossom. Like, I'm thinking about Volume, for example, as a very recent example of a game that is kind of built around the idea of having a level editor that will elongate the length of the game because the community aspect, there's always new stuff to play. But if you don't make a level editor that's fun itself to use, then that's not going to go anywhere. And it's probably not the first time this has happened, but this is a level editor that is a game. It's fun to just play the editing mode of Super Mario Maker because that is a focal point of it, is that they wanted to make it a fun thing for people to do.
The game is built around the community aspect. I mean, they have, what I love is that, like you said, it's intrinsic to the game itself. You have modes. Most of the main modes are just pulling random levels from the community to create this string to get to a castle, which is then a player-made castle that you have to go through. And there's easy, medium, and hard, which I don't understand how they determine if your level. My only guess is it just is determined by how many times people have died on your level. Maybe that will determine whether it's an expert, a normal, or an easy level.
It might also be how far you've got the endpoint dragged away from the beginning, or some variable about how many enemies or something.
But I love that I can play like Mario 100. You get 100 lives to go through these 8, 16, or whatever levels, depending on the difficulty you pick from, and it just pulls levels out of the community, so you kind of have this endless Mario thing to play all the time. And if a game level's too hard, you can skip it. It's super easy. You're just like, I'm losing too many lives. I want to be able to beat it. Because if you beat the Mario 100, you unlock a special skin that you can put onto your character, which is super
The
fun.
mysterious mushroom, yeah. And there's
Yeah.
like a million of them, too. There's like
Yeah.
over 120 or something like that skins.
All the amiibos, man.
It's a
Plus,
ton.
plus others.
I'm glad that they didn't just make it only by amiibo that you can
Oh, yeah.
unlock it.
Yeah.
Because I'll never open these fuckers. It'll never happen.
Yeah. I feel like it's a little bit of a missed opportunity in this as well, because I think they could have used this as a great platform to teach level design by making levels that have chunks missing that you have to play through by adding the missing parts yourself. So they could use that as ways to sort of teach what would be a best practice in this situation to make a fun situation, then maybe pass that on to somebody else to then iterate upon. So I
you
feel like
can't-
there's a lot of that kind of thing. That's
If
just
you do hate a level,
almost-
though, they do allow you to immediately deconstruct a level you've played if you want to.
Right. I think
So
it
you just
saves
put-
everything you played, actually, to the
So
level
you can just
bot.
play like,
Or the
pop open
first
level, you
bot.
just play like, this level sucks. You can just immediately play, like, it'd be better if it was like this, and you can do that. But like you said, it's not presented in that way. I wish Nintendo, I'd like that idea of just, here's an incomplete level, make it completable in any way you see fit.
Well, and maybe they could give you limited resources or something. You've got this many platforms, this many blocks, and then figure out a creative way to be able to distribute those through the missing elements.
That'd be
to
cool.
still be
I
able to
like
get
that.
to the goal. And that would then teach people how to do things in a fun way on the way there.
Yeah, I agree. That's awesome.
The other thing that I thought was really kind of erroneous, and I sort of hit on this earlier, is the fact that Nintendo from the beginning of Mario has been aware of level design is basically most effective when you can iterate upon one theme in small groups. Meaning when you get, say, a group of 1 through 4 levels, they might have, this is a group of platforms all moving in different ways. Then you add the intercepts with the up and down moving Koopa Troopas, and then you add some fireballs into the mix, and then you've got all kinds of power-ups, and then by the end, it's very complicated.
Yeah.
With this, all you've ever got is one level to work with, which means that all of your themes can only begin and end within that level. If you were to be able to create a small overworld, at least you could then kind of expand on a theme, and it could have a little bit more in terms of legs that way. It also kind of renders one-ups meaningless to only have one level to ever work with. Granted, they've made situations where they can work in the ones you mentioned, the 100 Mario Challenge, but since the difficulties vary so much between levels, you don't know when a one-up is going to be completely pointless. I mean, you could run into levels that play themselves, and I have already.
Oh,
You didn't
God,
even
those-
need to
yeah.
touch them.
Yeah.
Or you could run into a level that is nearly impossible to complete unless you know about this one secret block that's hidden somewhere that only the person who made it would know about. So
Yeah.
there's a lot left up to chance there, and it doesn't really elaborate or allow people to elaborate upon their own really interesting concepts. Instead, you just get very small modular elements, which can be fun, but I feel like they don't ascend to that next tier that I was hoping that we could hit with this.
Agreed.
Ryan, thoughts?
I own 2 copies of Super Mario Maker, but I haven't played it yet. And honestly, I sort of don't feel motivated to, because
NHL 16's coming out?
No. But at the risk of kind of coming across a little bit more
Ooh,
conceited than
it.
intended.
Don't say it.
It's more like I have a creative outlook or outlet already with programming. So I'm kind of like, I could spend like 3 hours making a Mario Maker level. It would probably be fun, or I could program, and that
Not
is
conceited at all. That's fine. That's just how you want to choose to spend your time.
yeah. So for me, it's like I've kind of got like a Mario Maker. The needs, if this was The Sims, the needs that Mario Maker would fulfill for me are already being fulfilled from something that I find more constructive. So I'm probably not going to play Mario Maker for some time.
I like that Sims comparison. It makes it so people can't rip on you for it.
Basically, yes.
Well, Mario Maker is out now. Decide for yourself if you want to check it out. We are all, I think we're pretty pleased with it, in a nutshell. Yeah? It's out across all countries and nations. Australia got it 2 days later. That's just ridiculous.
Stupid.
It's not 2 years later like usual.
That's true. Yeah, at least there's that. And that's it for our content today. We're going to be jumping now into everybody's favorite segment. It's Ask Roundtable. Woo!
Oh, man.
You know, I told you guys last time I was going to have like some music to go there.
Yeah?
There's not.
Oh.
You're a lying son of a bitch.
One of those things, Ask Roundtable to me is like an old school, like early 90s fake rap, like boom, chicka, 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 and then like record scratch, and then like Ask Roundtable, Ask Roundtable.
Yeah,
and then
yeah, I
that's
like
it.
that.
Straight out of the 90s, man. That sounds
Exactly.
I
like
can't stop writing music for this podcast,
Just
can
like
I?
some non-threatening hip-hop.
Oh, you know
for
what?
your
This
television
is
program.
not even the right goddamn question. Hold on. That's the one from Brian last time. I didn't save my damn I didn't save my images, man. This is ridiculous. Oh no. Did I save 2 files too? God damn.
Every second that goes by without you fixing this, you're gonna have some problems.
Oh, you know what it is? I saved it as a JPEG. Oh, that's why I fucked it up. All right, well, here it is.
Edit
Anyway.
incoming.
You have made successful careers in a segment of media development that could be loosely categorized as semi-professional. Nobody can even see what you're doing with your camera right now, man. We're all white
man.
It's a
squares.
grape or a freaking pea in the dark right now.
Put
We've
another
invited
way,
you
you develop and produce your
Be
own
the
content.
XCOM leader.
No one can see you. My
We'll be
question
in touch,
is,
Command.
if you had the opportunity to jump to a more traditional broadcasting field, e.g. radio, sports, or television, later in life, would you seriously consider it? Thank you, Alex, for that question. So, boiled down to brass tacks, we've all etched out a niche here in the internet world, but if given the opportunity to jump to radio or television, would you do it? Let's start with Mathas.
no.
No. Explain why.
I don't know, man. I like being able to control my own content and not have to really answer to anybody and kind of do what I think is best for my channel or what I want to do because it's fun. Having that kind of liberty taken away from me is something I don't think I'd really want to do. That and, like, I don't even want to, like, the money aspect isn't even that big of a deal for me one way or another. I just don't think, like, with television in particular, there's so many people you have to answer to and you have to make it sure it's their vision or whatever. With YouTube, it's me, only me, and I do what I think is best, and I've had success with it so far, and I don't think I'd ever really leap over to that. I don't think I would enjoy losing that.
Fair. Ryan?
Yeah, I agree with Mathis. I mean, one of the great things about the internet now is that it's kind of like been a great equalizer for broadcasting. Like, the reason that radio and television, I feel, are seen as more established careers right now is because they've been around forever. But the only reason they've been around forever in that kind of like hierarchical structure is because it costs like $1 trillion to make a radio tower. Like, it's not like, there's been stuff like pirate radio and stuff like that, but nobody was building like a radio tower in their backyard and broadcasting to like, all of London or something like
Everybody
that.
can stream on Twitch, but not everybody can construct a radio tower and broadcast on an FM signal.
Exactly. So, I mean, yeah, I think it's better to have control over yourself. Like Mathis is saying, you can work 15 hours one day, you can work 0 hours the next day if you want to. You can travel whenever you want as long as you make up for those hours in the meantime. You're also in a job where, like, if you work as like a radio broadcaster or a television broadcaster, your income is not necessarily dependent on how much you work. You might be on salary, and typically salaries in broadcasting, unless you're like a TV star, are not that high.
You're not Ryan Seacrest.
Yeah, if you're Ryan Seacrest, you're set, right? But, you might end up working like 40 or 50 hours a week doing like a radio morning show or something like that and getting paid the same, whereas, with what we do, we kind of have control over our output, and that gives us a little bit of control over our income as well. So that's a lot of freedom, honestly. And I think we're kind of coming to the point where it's going in the other direction. Like in 2012, people were like, it would be awesome if, like, why don't you quit YouTube and get a job in radio? And I'm like, radio doesn't pay that well. And also, my only skill for radio is that I have a deep voice. It's not like there's a lot. I don't want to.
And you got sweet 90s references, man.
That's
You vamp
true.
like mad though.
I don't want to denigrate what DJs do. They have their own unique set of skills that I
Oh,
don't
dude,
possess.
do it. You can. It's fine.
Fuck DJs. But they, it's going in the other direction. People are leaving established media roles, and they're making YouTube channels and Twitch channels because they're seeing the potential. And being your own boss is awesome, and it's nice to have that advertising money coming straight to you instead of going to like the radio station owner and then filtering down through 50 employees because the overhead of the radio station is so high and stuff like that. So
Well, we still kind of have that with YouTube taking a huge chunk of what we make.
Yeah, but there's a difference between like that and like having a building. Like
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean,
like a
that's
radio station
For overhead
building, and then you pay
reasons, yeah.
licensing fees to like
okay. Yeah.
you pay royalties and stuff like that. Also, like working in television, you're selling somebody else, and like in radio, you're selling somebody else. Whereas for YouTube, they're usually there for you and the game, but a lot for your individual personality as well. So, like in desperate times, maybe, yeah, I don't see anything wrong with that. But I no plans really. They'd have to pay me a lot more than I'm worth. Let's put it that way.
As far as I go, really the only thing that I would say to add upon that, I mean, I was totally on board with what Ryan was saying about that things are kind of going in the other direction. If I was to seek anything more traditional, it wouldn't be really any of those avenues particularly. I'd probably just do writing. I've always been interested in writing, and I've always been pretty good at it, so I think that's the one place where I think I could still fit in. I'm not really chasing, like, visibility. I don't really want to be a huge celebrity. I'm just happy playing games and talking about them and expressing my opinions, and none of those things in radio or TV would really get me to that point. If anything, it would just get me further away from it. So really writing is the only other option that I could see, but all the places where writing's happening are all going to YouTube now, so I think I already found the right spot.
Yeah.
Well, that's like the great thing about YouTube, right? Like you, like in traditional media, you wouldn't be able to just be like voice your opinion and stuff about video games. In that shift of the other direction, you can do that.
And I also couldn't use my platform to decide that one night I'm going to drink a bunch of beer and beat 12 bosses in Titan Souls with my feet, right? So that's like, I have a lot of versatility with what I'm doing right now, and I'm pretty happy about it. I don't see how it would be an upgrade in any way to go the other way.
That's a great point, honestly. Like, you kind of just nailed it with the drink 12 beers and play Titan Souls with my feet. I can't do that on ESPN, man.
Yeah.
That's a limitation.
Maybe if they're getting very progressive in the future, but I doubt
They're
it.
starting to stream Dota. You know, anything could happen at this point.
It's true.
I mean, the other thing is that like
It's a Dota.
the idea is that like if you take a more traditional job, you have more job security. But I don't think like being in broadcasting gives you any more.
Nope.
No,
job
you have
security.
way less job security having a job with like a major market than you do with anything we do.
Yeah, if you're like a newscaster and they just fire you.
They
It's
don't
not-
have to give you a severance package or anything.
You
They
gotta
just say,
move,
fucking
right?
Go
They-
away.
If I make any of the jokes I make on my channel in broadcasting, I'd be fired in a day.
Well, yeah.
The one argument would
last.
be you don't have to deal with Google, but like it could be the same situation with a different boss.
I'm more than happy to deal with Google. I mean, we complain about it, but not having anyone to talk to is a lot more than not better than having terrible people to talk to.
Yeah.
Maybe. Depending on, well, unless you end up in the wrong element of like someone did something to you you had no control over, and then you have no recourse.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
there's
that could
always
suck.
extremes either way too.
Yeah, of
but
course.
That is unfortunately a lot more prevalent than it should be.
Bad elements in every job for sure.
Oh yeah.
So I want to talk about radio for a second because I want to dispel the myth of radio. Radio is
The myth of radio.
radio sucks ass, man. It's fun. It's fun when you're on the air, but then everything else is just kind of crappy. Unless you really like music, in which case be a music director at a radio station. Your life will be awesome because you'll get all kinds of music. All right, so we were talking about this a little bit before the show as well. Guess how much radio disc jockeys make in your head right now. Just guess.
$10 an hour.
Just think about like an afternoon shift, like 3 to 6 afternoon drive at the number one radio station in your area. Just think about that. Think about that number. If you
Not
have
my
like a
area.
reasonable estimation of like $10 an hour, like Nick said, you're probably in the ballpark. That's not a lie. The top afternoon DJs may be making like $12 to $15 an hour in your
Making
area.
more than that as a waiter at the Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah, unless you are in LA, Chicago, or New York, you're not making shit on radio. Like those people, they're doing it because they love radio and they love being involved with radio and they like to do the events and stuff that are part of it. But when you're working at a radio station too, you're not just a DJ. You're working as like the promotions director or the music director or the sponsorships director or something like that. You are doing a different job, and being a DJ is part of that job, and it's a smaller part of that job. You're working like 40 to 60 hours a week behind the scenes. You're doing all the nasty stuff that nobody wants to do. Like, even if you're a program director, for example, which is kind of a higher job in the hierarchy of radio, and it's different everywhere. It's probably different from where I was. you have a job that entails you scheduling out everything. You have to, weed through the bull crap. It's just a job just like anything else is. Any other job is comparable to a radio position because you're doing all that crap anyway. And then there's a glamorous part of it where you are on the air for maybe 6 minutes out of an hour. By the way, if you're getting an idea of being like a pseudo celebrity by being a radio station disc jockey, people are like more likely not to hear you in the span of their drive than they are to hear your voice going on the air.
Right.
What about even is that still, as far as money is concerned, morning show guys?
Morning show people should be making a lot, but according to Ryan, it's also not even really like, well, I mean, okay, you're one example in a field of thousands, but still, I'm saying seriously, LA, Chicago, New York, and then there's like a few other markets that are comparable to those areas. You've got like those people, and those are the highlights of radio, and they're the ones making a good amount of money. There's even disc jockeys in my former area, like in Utah, that were part of a morning show that was very popular, that was probably paying them each, just over six-figure salaries. And that's still, think about it this way, too. Think about the NBA, and think about how in the NBA there are about 20 to 25 players that are superstars that are making tremendous amounts of money.
Right, that makes sense.
But then think about the players in the NBA that are just sort of, regular to bench level players that are making hundreds of thousands of dollars. They're still the elite class. They're still good enough to play in the NBA, but they're not really making that much money out of it. And that disparity is scaled down and then equalized in radio. So you have maybe a dozen people in radio that are making just ass loads of money, and then you've got all the other professionals that are doing the morning shows that are making good amounts of money. And then everyone else is making basically minimum wage for a job that is not even that glamorous.
That's crazy, man, hearing that and just being like, I made more than that as a waiter.
Yeah. You probably
and you didn't
did.
have to spend your weekends doing like remotes from like a furniture store having a tent sale.
That paid
Right.
$500 to do that. Seriously, like that's the asking price for an afternoon DJ. You get $500 for going over there for 3 hours and promoting some fucking car dealership.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, that's radio for you. But I mean, I think I maybe answered the question for you in that.
So my answer was no before. It's extra no now.
Fuck no. No,
Which is
I
not
would
to shit on people in radio, because there are people who like love it and do it for the love of it. But.
And I loved being on the radio when I was on the radio. It was a lot of fun. But if you're looking at radio like it's some kind of glamour job that puts you in the spotlight and gets you all kinds of fame and glory, that is not the way you want to go. Especially now, because it's gonna die. Radio's gonna die. It will. There's nothing it brings to the table that other forms of media aren't bringing to the table. And we're going to have replacements for it in like 30 years. That's just, it has to happen. It's the cycle of technological life.
Turn off your face cam and stream something.
Mm-hmm. People are already removing radio from their cars, which is, like the staple of radio at the moment.
I mean, even as a very small example, sure, but I know there are people out there who listen to like our podcast while they're driving, for instance. I mean, Dan Giesling does it all the time.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Self-aware podcast right now.
It's crazy.
Yeah. But that's my answer to the question is no, I am very happy. I almost avoided going the route you're recommending here to pursue this stuff.
Yeah.
Because I felt it was better suited to what I wanted to do creatively. And it's working so far. So I hopefully will be able to keep that up.
Now, that being said, I wonder if this question is kind of pitched because, Pro Jared was on that Nickelodeon show recently and PewDiePie is doing something with TMZ in Hollywood. If the right offer came along that allowed you to do both consecutively, probably not radio because nobody's going to pay us to be on radio.
Yeah.
This hot new indie game came out this week this is Northernlion on Virgin Radio, Vancouver, right? Like, that's not going to happen. But, yeah, I mean, possibly. You keep an open mind about that sort of stuff. But as a full-time gig, I'd rather not, is my inclination right now.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's just so much better. Our lives are great. That's what we want to say.
I mean, we really have very little room to complain with our
No,
jobs.
not at all. But yeah, thank you very much, Alex, for that question. If you want to send in a question to Ask Roundtable, that is roundtableyt@gmail.com. It's down in the description as well if you want to see it there.
But
Roundtableyt@gmail.com.
Alex, if you're looking to hire us for a movie and that was why you asked.
Oh, yeah. If that was a filter question, then I'm totally on board for it. I promise. Oh, my goodness.
As long as you pay me more than I'm worth, I'm in.
That should bring us to Nick's Weird Games, right? I think
so, yeah.
All right, let's do it.
I got a game all picked out for you guys. You ready?
Yeah, well, Nick's over there talking about, or grabbing, I should say, a Nick's
Talking
Weird
about
Game.
it.
I want, you know what?
And the
we
mighty,
should
mighty
do?
boss tones.
Yeah, there you go. I was going to say we got to pull something from the Rock Band 4 track list.
You couldn't have been short skirt, long jacket, which just pivots into it so
Yeah,
nicely.
you know what? Go for it. You can have this one.
All right. I want a game from the PS2 era, made by a Japanese developer who no longer exists. I want a game that was published by Atlas and made by Nicalis and probably sucks. I want a game with a short story and a long name with a colon followed by a superlative.
Oh, man, A+. Dude, that's
great.
That's a competitor for Best Nick's Weird Game theme song.
Thank you.
I only caught the end, but it sounded pretty good.
What do
Well,
we got?
I don't have a colon or a superlative for you, so
Then I
hope
have no
that's
idea
okay.
what it is at
Hit
this
me.
point.
Let's do it.
So today's game is a PS2 game again. It's not an Atlas game because I know how much you hate those. I still have.
It's like
20
you heard
more.
the song.
Oh,
It's a
I didn't
Natsume
actually.
game, right?
Yeah.
No, this one is developed by Core Design. I don't know if you guys know who that is. No, it's published by IDOS Interactive.
Okay.
Came out. I think I killed Ryan.
Is it Tomb Raider? Is it
No.
Tomb Raider Angel of Darkness?
No. It came out for Windows in 2001 and PlayStation 2 in 2001 as well. Is a difference of about 2 weeks. It is a action-based action-adventure single-player game with multiplayer as well, but it is not required. All right. From the creators of Tomb Raider 1 and 2. There you go.
Hey.
And this is the back of the box blurb. Due to severe overpopulation, Earth's surface is covered with towering megacities. A civilization,
Okay.
as civilization climbs high into the
Wait,
sky,
wait.
it varies
What was that due to?
due to severe overpopulation.
Oh, okay.
What did I say?
I misheard you. Okay, sorry. Yeah, no, go for it.
A
Due to the watermelon shortage, it's raining today. You know?
Civilization climbs high into the sky. It buries beneath it a wretched underworld occupied by criminals, the deranged, and the deformed. Now, amidst reports of violence and atrocity in lower levels, a technical repair team has gone missing. So we're going to lead 4 specialists into innovative squad-based play in an abyss of vast caverns, snake-like tunnels, and luring dead ends. There's 11 chilling mission-based levels that will test your exploration, puzzle-solving, and survival skills. There are
Can you
morphing
repeat
enemies.
Did they say
Yeah.
alluring dead ends?
Luring.
Oh,
They lure you into the dead
I've
ends.
never heard that.
That'd be a great adjective for it, right? Alluring dead ends. There's shiny treasure at the end. Morphing enemies challenge you constantly, mutating as quickly as you learn how to destroy them. And you can descend into the darkness alone or with 4 others in cooperative multiplayer. Any guesses, folks?
No.
Is it Deus Ex?
No.
Okay.
Invisible War.
No, it's not like you will climb the Statue of Liberty. To
I swear to God,
eventually
I say
discover
this every
J.C. Denton.
time, but there's like the one thing that is standing out is the fact that it's underground. But there's
Yes.
always that one element that makes me think I know this game, but I
You want to say it's
totally
Red
don't.
Faction. It's not Red Faction.
I kind of did want to say it was Red
Yeah.
Faction, actually. Yeah.
That's a first-person shooter anyway, but that's for another day. Now, not for another day. What else can I give you? The first.
What's it rated?
Oh, it's rated T for teen.
Okay.
Reasons of blood and gore and violence.
Core Interactive?
Core design.
Core Design.
So I can make it easier for you to Google the name.
I'm just going to cheat because I'm
I
curious.
cheated already. Yeah.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Oh,
All right.
what the? Wait, no.
Today's
that's not
game
it.
is called Project Eden.
Oh, God! I should have known that one. I saw that one all the time.
I mean, I
was
recognize the
fairly
cover
rare,
a little
actually.
bit, but
No, I remember this one because I would always want to rent it because my mom wouldn't let me.
Because of the T for
Because
teen.
the T for teen, yeah. I wasn't mature enough yet. She used to impose these super heavy restrictions on the teen games, man. Like she would sometimes let us get the teen games, but only if the breakdown was not too bad. So what are the details on this one for the teen rating?
Well, I just want to mention too that it was ranked as the 87th best PS2 game by IGN. So that's a good stat.
Yeah, they gave
that
it
you
a
should
9
know.
out of 10.
9 out of 10, but all the other review scores were like in the 70s. So I'm not sure what happened with IGN. They got really
That's
into
impressive.
again, the
9 out of 10.
The adjectives here, the descriptors were blood and gore and violence is why it was.
Okay, I think the blood and gore, just the fact that it had to
the
list
gore
that
itself. Yep.
made it so I couldn't play it. I remember seeing this one on the shelves all the time, though. Project
This
Eden.
doesn't look too bad for like a 2001 era game.
Yeah, 2001 Dead Space, maybe.
Yeah, kind of. It's weird.
Oh man,
Oh,
well,
the first person mode. Oh, geez.
that's
It's like
another
4-player co-op.
4-player co-op, really.
So
That's
Yeah,
another
split
point for
screens.
Nick then.
Yep.
racking them up, guys.
Yeah, it's like
We're gonna have
9
to
to
pick some
0.
easier games.
Let us know if you got Nick's weird game this time. We want to hear that on Twitter, and then hopefully stop spoiling it for everybody that hasn't heard the episode yet. Like some
I
kind
do
of
think that
dummy.
one was probably the easiest.
Yeah, I know that game. So
I've seen that cover.
Yeah, that alone is.
I got Rule of Rose.
We remember.
The only
We're still giving you credit for that. That's the one point we've got for the team.
Look, I am actually making an effort to try and find easier games because I know that some of these are off the damn deep end.
Yeah.
I hear you, so I'll keep going.
You maybe
in
have
that
to
direction.
throw us a bone next time and just see if
Yeah.
we're even paying attention.
No, I
Just
will. I'll do that.
Throw us a fucking Mega Man at some point.
I'm not gonna do a Mega Man.
As
but
a
I've got
robot?
other plans.
A cyborg robot from 20XX.
In the 7th iteration of this popular franchise.
Is it,
All right.
is it NHL 2001?
Yeah, there you go. We could actually try to see which NHL game it is just based on the information.
If you showed us the cover, I would. I'd know.
Yeah.
If you showed us the year, I would know the year.
Well, that is going to be it for this episode of Roundtable. Thank you very much to our Patreon supporters on patreon.com/roundtable. Above that $20 tier includes Max Pillin, Alexander Spillman, Christopher Flagg, Positron, Jeff Rush, General Crunk, Jonathan Graham, Christopher Farmer, Air Force Balls, David Bradley, Matt, Julian Avelsgaard, Caspian Crawdad, Kevin Birkland, Casey, Nolref, Mediocrates, Simph, Johannes Goldon, Matthew Monahan, Zur, Jonathan Bloodworth, Kevin Ran Out of Ideas Walker. I love that. He's still changing it. Connor Littlewood, Smurfette, Logan Ray, Justin, Brizzlebrip, and Ignacio0891. Thank you very much for your support. And Mathas has got the update for those of you getting involved in the monthly game session as well.
Yep, I've already heard back from a couple of them, which is great. They're going to be there. But next Tuesday is when we do our stream. We're going to do some Rocket League community stuff. I've already sent out a message to all $75 tier patrons. So check your patron mailbox and get back to me to let me know if you're going to be there or not. And if you are going to be there, I'll be sure to send you a message to let you guys know how to get into the game. So that'll be on next Tuesday the 22nd.
Yep.
When we play.
The next episode will be on the 2nd of October.
Oh my God, September's already almost over.
2nd of October. That's when Battle for Zendikar comes out.
Nice. We'll talk about it the whole show, I'm sure.
Sweet.
Thank you very much for watching. Follow at Roundtable PC on Twitter. You can again email roundtableyt@gmail.com with your Ask Roundtable questions, or just email us for whatever the hell you want to talk about, because I'm okay with that. That's an email inbox I'm happy to be filled with spam, honestly. Just do it. Follow twitch.tv/Roundtable Podcast to be notified when we go live on Twitch, and roundtablepodcast.reddit.com, I believe, for the subreddit to do episode discussion. And that's it. Thanks for watching.
Hey, everybody.
All done. Yeah, bye.
Woo, we all did it.